Welcome to our channel. Today, we're diving into border control and immigration. We're here to understand why some folks get twitchy about those little lines on the map. Imagine your house. You probably like deciding who pops in, right? Countries feel the same way about their borders. They see them as a big metaphorical front door with rules about who can come in and when. So buckle up as we unpack the arguments for stricter border controls. Because let's face it, folks, this issue isn't going anywhere.
The first card on the table? National security. Advocates for tighter borders often argue it's like locking your doors at night. Precautionary. They worry about folks with less than noble intentions slipping through the cracks.
Think about it. Terrorists, criminals. A country without secure borders is like a bouncer who's passed out drunk on the job. Critics argue that this often paints immigrants with an unfairly broad brush. But for folks in favor of stricter controls, safety trumps all.
Next up, let's talk money, honey. The economy is the elephant in the room. Some worry that an influx of immigrants will strain resources, like that one guest who empties your entire snack cabinet.
They argue that jobs will become more competitive, wages might stagnate, and public services will get stretched thin. Critics counter that immigrants boost the economy by creating jobs, paying taxes, and filling labor shortages. But for those advocating for stricter controls, the fear of economic instability looms large.
Let's address social cohesion. Some worry that large-scale immigration can lead to a clash of cultures, like that awkward family reunion where nobody can agree on the music. They fear that language barriers and differing values will create divisions within society. Critics argue that diversity is a strength, not a weakness, and that integration is achievable with the right policies. But for those in favor of stricter controls, the potential for social friction is a genuine worry.
Now, let's talk about infrastructure and resources. Imagine your town suddenly had to accommodate twice the population.
That, in a nutshell, is the concern of those advocating for stricter border control. They argue that a sudden influx of people can overwhelm a country's infrastructure and strain its resources. Critics point out that this can be mitigated with proper planning and investment. But for those concerned about strained resources, the image of a system pushed to its breaking point is a powerful one.
Here's a fun fact. Countries have rules. Advocates for stricter controls emphasize the importance of control. They argue that a country's legal and regulatory frameworks are like the instruction manual for a well-functioning society. Critics argue that these systems are often too rigid and bureaucratic. But for those advocating for stricter controls, maintaining the integrity of the system is paramount.
Let's talk about public health. Advocates for stricter border controls argue that borders act like a giant sneeze guard, preventing the spread of infectious diseases. They point out that a sudden influx of people could bring unfamiliar illnesses, potentially overwhelming healthcare systems. Critics argue that this concern can easily veer into fear-mongering territory and emphasize proper health screenings. But for those advocating for stricter controls, the potential risk to public health is a powerful motivator.
Let's talk about the environment. Some worry that rapid population growth fueled by unrestricted immigration will put a strain on the planet's resources. They argue that managing immigration is crucial for protecting the environment. Critics counter that consumption patterns, not just population size, play a significant role in environmental impact. But for those concerned about the planet's well-being, the link between population growth and environmental strain is a real concern.
So, there you have it, a crash course in the arguments for stricter border controls. We've explored the concerns about security, the economy, social cohesion, and even the environment. It's important to remember that these concerns often stem from genuine anxieties about change and uncertainty. The world is a complex place, folks, and navigating these complexities requires empathy and understanding. Thanks for watching. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content.